Video game trophy hunting is probably one of those video gamey things that you either want to fully dedicate yourself to or not worry about at all. The trophies on this list were either so obtuse it took a while to work out how to obtain them, or some literally straight up told you you'd be waiting years to get them, at which point said game would just cough it up. Whatever the case, these trophies would take a prime spot in your gaming cabinet, and rightly so. As any achievement or trophy data collection site will tell you, and as I have keenly learned while researching for this list, there is honestly no trophy that is a match for a determined hunter. So consider this list populated with trophies that would take years to get. I mean, would under any other circumstance take years to get. But you know, there's always the most determined hunter that's going to dash my definition that they take years. Honestly, they're a different breed and I'm a little scared of them, so let's keep going. I'm Jess from WhatCulture and here are 8 video game trophies that took years to get. Number 8, lowest of the low, Crypt of the Necrodancer. If you are a little bummed by me telling you that this list doesn't exclusively contain trophies that actually took years to get from when the game was released, then this example should pretty much explain why that is. Crypt of the Necrodancer is a charming rhythm-focused roguelike where you move to the beat while beating enemies down before they can take you down. It sounds adorable, but it's actually really bloody difficult. That's before you take into account trying to claim its platinum trophy for yourself, a Herculean effort that might be one of the toughest challenges ever put forward by video games, especially because of a dastardly challenge set by the gold trophy, lowest of the low. This trophy asks players to complete an entire run using all characters without picking up any items except gold or using any shrines. That means no improved gear, no extra damage dealt, no way to decrease damage received, and all but ensures almost every hit you take will result in a game over. To put the challenge in perspective, only 21 players have reported attaining this one on PSN profiles. That's 21 people since the game came out in 2015. And how long then did it take for a player to officially log on PSN profiles that they'd managed to cross off this incredible challenge, which again has been sort of agreed to be one of the trickiest trophies you can get in any video game ever put on the site? Just over a year, which again, yes, technically falls into our years category, but since this is one of the trickiest ones and it still was crossed off in that relatively short amount of time, trophy hunters, man, the trophy hunters. Number 7, Seriously 3.0, Gears of War 3. There are a number of achievements called Seriously associated with different Gears of War games, but 3 is supposed to be the trickiest. I have to say supposed to be because you wouldn't catch me trying to cross this one off on my most determined day, but that's why I'm the one telling you about the incredible people who did the thing and not the one doing the thing, because I have not and will never get that good. Gears of War 3 achievement Seriously 3.0 will pop once players hit level 100 and grab every single Onyx medal in the game. Now for the uninitiated, Onyx is the highest tier of medal you can get, and you need to get 65 of the buggers. These range from the easier side, like completing the campaign on every difficulty, to the trickier and more time-consuming challenges, like literally anything that asks you to be in online matches. Players have reported that the trophy's requirements realistically take thousands of hours to cross off, particularly in the instances of the Vengeful medal, wherein you need to execute 100 enemies who've killed you 5 times in a row without you killing them. The best method dedicated players found for the challenge was to either team up with a pal or plug in an extra controller and dole out the damage yourself. Without achievement hunters scheduling lobbies so everyone can still be able to get the multiplayer related achievements and thus actually be able to grab Seriously 3.0, this would have been made impossible a long time ago. And whilst that's really tricky, and I'm still scared of the trophy hunters, it's just nice to see people working together. Number 6. Go Outside, the Stanley Parable. A lot of trophies are on this list because the requirements to cross them off are literally, as I said, going to take you thousands of hours, and they're just by and large a tricky achievement. This is not one of those trophies. This one is on the list because all you have to do is install the game, wait 5 years, and then presto. The Stanley Parable, an irreverent walking simulator / puzzle game dedicated to branching storylines, funny moments, and philosophizing, contains a particular achievement called Go Outside, where you're expected to do just that. By not playing the game for 5 whole years and then booting it up again, you'd pop the achievement and hey presto, we have a trophy that literally took years to get. Of course, most players just change the clock on their systems to trick the trophy into popping without waiting the full 5 years, but that would be cheating. In any case, what you do with your gaming platform of choice is between you, your god, and the technology that has not reached the level where it could do anything to stop you. There's also the Super Go Outside achievement from the Stanley Parable Deluxe Edition, which is basically the same thing, but you need to install the game, then not play it for 10 years, and then if you go back in, it will pop. But doubling up on this achievement when I feel like I'm probably already stretching the meaning of my topic here would probably be pushing it too much. Number 5, 3 of a kind, Gran Turismo 6. A rarity for this next one, as a good handful of Gran Turismo 6 players have popped this trophy, but it's just as likely to be obtained by those who weren't trying to get it as those who were, and that's because the requirement for this one is frankly bullshit. Oh, it's a good day to be someone who doesn't care about trophies, and a very bad day to be somebody who does if you're trying to platinum Gran Turismo 6, because this particular trophy is really just completely random. You don't have to know what to do to get it, and well really, you don't even have to be good at the game. That's because achieving the 3 of a kind trophy is pretty much a crapshoot. In order to pick it up, you need to register a lap record where the 3 digits after the decimal point are the same. That's right, this is either a trophy you could get immediately after starting the game, or one that could elude you for years, since getting it is just dumb luck. Well, technically it's dumb luck in math, since it works out to being a 1% chance every time you register a lap record that it's going to have those consecutive digits after the decimal point. You can game this one a little by running the shortest track in the game over and over, but there's not much more you can do to grab this one other than that. In any case, this trophy made a lot of achievement hunters deeply annoyed, and honestly fair enough. Number 4, Fector's Challenge, Stardew Valley. There are a couple of games on this list, Crypt of the Necrodancer being one of them if you've never played it yourself, and Stardew Valley totally falls into the same category, where the cutesy pie pixel art graphics just don't seem like they'd house an absolutely nightmare of a trophy/achievement. But don't let Stardew Valley fool you, because Journey of the Prairie King as a minigame is absolutely no walk in the park. Pretty much every trophy comes with a guide giving you an idea of how to obtain it for yourself, but this one's guide pretty much comes down to pray to RNGesus. You'll pop Fector's Challenge by beating the minigame without dying, which is all well and good, but the minigame is a top-down insta-death shooter, with 10 levels, swarms of baddies, and 3 bosses. To put it plainly, the likelihood of you dying is almost certain. Even the most dedicated, talented, and luckiest of players only scored this trophy after almost a full year of playing the game, and they were just the first to log their accomplishment online. It was made a lot easier by the 1.5 update, which lets you save after each level, but before that change, this was a ridiculous ask. Adding insult to injury, despite being well and truly the toughest challenge in the game, and probably one of those trophies we can put in the category of the hardest to obtain in all of video games, this one will only grant you a silver trophy, which is just harsh. Number 3, World Champion, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Unless you were first out the gate to grab this one, trying to obtain it for yourself was only going to get harder and harder until it became essentially impossible. Even cheating doesn't really help much here. Technically you can, but so can anybody else, so it doesn't really give you much of an edge. Really, to get this one, you just have to spend hours and hours playing the game and hope that you even have the capacity to get good enough. Unsurprisingly, this is one of the rarest trophies on this list by some margin, with some of the tiny number of players who've scored the achievement claiming it took them between 6 months and thousands of hours of grinding to crawl their way up the leaderboard. Essentially, this game would have to become your job, and even then, it's no sure thing you'll ever be as good as the very best. It's a small mercy that at least this one certainly rewards mastery of the game's mechanics, but again, that's sort of a really small mercy in this absolutely merciless obtaining of a game trophy. Number 2, Metal Massacre, Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 is a Valve classic that caters to the casual all the way to the hardcoreest of players. If you plan to pick up the Metal Massacre achievement, you'd almost certainly find yourself in the second category. Curiously, the shooter has a decent handful of trophies with requirements that are worth balking at. There's T1 Million, which asks you to collect 1 million credits in your career, and Tech Wrecker that you only get by killing 10 robots in a single detonation as a demo man. But the Metal Massacre requirement to destroy no less than 1 million robots is a little unbelievable. Now, the most common way of getting this achievement, according to people who've actually done it, is through lying, modding, or cheating. If for some reason, though, you decide you want to do this one legitimately, then you really are signing up for thousands of hours of grinding to try and hit the 1 million point. That's assuming you only play the mission with the most bots and focus on nothing else but this very achievement. In other words, that's assuming you probably stop having fun with the game entirely. Don't get me wrong, you'll look very cool with the trophy in your back pocket, I just don't know if you'll ever want to play Team Fortress 2 again after you get it. Number 1. Bro Tree Simulator 2022. If you've never heard of Tree Simulator 2022 and you're wondering what it's all about, well, you play as a tree. And that's pretty much it. That's kind of the whole game. It's you sort of just vibe as a tree, you are a tree, that's the whole thing. It's got a 10 out of 10 on Steam. Despite appearing fairly rudimentary insofar as its gameplay mechanics and presumably storyline, Tree Simulator 2022 has a beast of a video game trophy, at least in terms of how long it's going to take you to obtain it. While the game has some more simple achievements like being a tree for 5 minutes, the true challenge is the achievement called Bro Tree, which you'll pop for being a tree for no less than 10,000 hours. That's 20 hours a week for 10 years if you get the achievement like a crazy but dedicated person, and 416 days if you let it run in the background like everybody else who got it. The description for the achievement reads, "Do you even tree, bro? You have bragging rights, other trees cannot compete." There's also a button where you can give the tree a red tie, so you can wear that for the 10,000 hours if you want, or not. It's totally up to you, but you will in fact be doing it for 10,000 hours no matter what you do. At least according to that old adage, you will be an expert in being a digital tree by the end of it, so you got that going for you.